Hey guys, Mano here. Welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since I did a before you buy video. This is the Yamaha MT15, the Japanese piano company's offering to the beginner-friendly modern roadster segment. This bike has been coming back to the shop lately to get a bunch of things fixed, and this is the third time it's here because, well, there's something wrong with it. Again. Now, if you're planning to buy one of these, may it be used or new, stick around because this video might help you. Okay, before we begin, I just want you to know that this is a no-bias review of this motorcycle. This is meant to help you decide if this bike is for you or not, and some of the things I'm about to say are my personal opinions based on observations. Now, yes, the condition of the bike that we have here is kind of beat up, but that is a big plus to show to you what to look out for in the future or if you're considering a used unit. Anyway, what does it offer? In terms of design and ergonomics, well, it is a modern rendition of a naked bike or roadster. You get this hyper-aggressive styling with a futuristic headlight, a 10-liter gas tank with scallops on the side to help you grip it with your knees, an upright seating position perfect for in-town riding, giving you a commanding view of the road up ahead. Now, the seat itself is tall but narrow to help you reach the ground on stops, and the foot pegs are placed a bit high and just below the seat. Now, if you're going to ask me, this is more on the aggressive side, ideal for spirited riding through traffic and twisty mountain roads. Now, you can also lean into corners aggressively considering the cornering clearance. And as like most bikes with a short wheelbase, this one is very flickable. Now, the seat itself is a bit on the tall side, so if you have short legs, well, this is something to think about. Now, if you're a tall guy like me, this bike might feel a bit cramped also. Now, speaking of handling, the chassis is a lightweight yet rigid perimeter style steel frame. It is a two-piece construction and it uses the engine as a stress member for added strength. Now, you get a non-adjustable inverted fork for the front and a preload adjustable monoshock at the back, mated to a steel swing arm via a linkage system. Now, the suspension itself is tuned for street riding and provides a decent amount of comfort and stability on most road conditions. Now, for braking, you get a single disc up front with a 2-piston caliper and a disc brake system at the back. Now, the one that we have here has a basic setup, but in some countries, you can get this with ABS. Now, for the alloy wheels, you get a 300 by 17 at the front and a 400 by 17 at the back. Now, these wheels are exactly the same found on the Yamaha XSR155 and the R15. Normally, when you get this bike brand new, it comes with a 100 by 70-17 front tire and a 140-70-17 at the back. Now, if you plan to change the tires on your MT, XSR or R15, I highly recommend going for a 110-70 at the front and a 150-60-17 at the rear. Not only does it look way better, it also makes the bike accelerate and handle a lot better. Now, anything larger than that is just expensive garbage. Believe me, I run a tire shop. Now, this bike weighs approximately 133 kilograms with all fluids, and it carries its center of weight low in the chassis, which is great considering it's a pretty tall bike for most new riders. Now, if you're wondering why this particular bike has been coming back here for repairs, well, it's because of three things. Number one is rust. Yes, the chassis itself is prone to rust, especially if you live in a tropical environment. I'm in the Philippines and it's typhoon season, which makes it even worse. Now, I have seen this on most XSR and R15s, and the MT is no exception. Now, rust tends to manifest in the swing arm axle, the steering head, gas tank, and inside the frame and swing arm. Now, second would be the lack of grease in the bearings in the wheels, the neck race, and swing arm, so make sure you get those greased up if you have a new bike. Now, third would be the brakes, especially with the Brake Master rubber caps. But then again, those rubber caps tend to give out in due time. But for some reason, the ones on the MT and its sibling models, the XSR and the R15, they also have this issue, and they tend to deteriorate quickly or faster than most other motorcycles. Now, another issue I see with the MT15 is the digital display burning out. This seems to be a common issue with Yamahas in general. Now, this one is also concerning. Why is the voltage regulator here? It's so exposed to water and debris. Now, if you have an exposed regulator, I suggest you take measures to protect this. Alright, moving on. In terms of performance, the Yamaha MT15 is powered by a high-revving 155cc liquid-cooled single-cylinder 4-valve fuel-injected engine that produces a very healthy 19 horsepower and 16 Nm of torque. Now, managing that power is a 6-speed manual transmission with a slipper clutch. Now, despite its small displacement, it produces a ton of power for its size while still being manageable. Now, for beginner riders, this would be a good choice to grow on since at lower RPMs, the power is very manageable and has loads of torque. And the more you give it gas, the faster it goes. It's smooth, predictable, and if you ride it in the mid to high RPM range, it's super responsive and accelerates really quick. Now, the cool thing about this engine though is that it is shared with the Yamaha Sniper 155, the Retro XSR 155, the sporty, or should I say, sport bike like R15, and the WR155R Enduro. Now, the top-end components of this engine are similar to the Yamaha NMAX Maxi Scooter and the Aero X 155. Now, this means the aftermarket support and go-fast parts are abundant. Now, if you want to make it faster, drop a high-performance cylinder head and a 270cc kit there, and you're good to go. Now, due to its high revving nature and abundance of performance parts, this engine requires a bit more attention when it comes to maintenance. And if you're getting a used unit, well, be warned, some might be a few kilometers away from breaking down. Now, to sum things up about the MT15, it is an awesome bike to have, especially if you're a new rider. It's great for commuting, for fun weekend rides, and can still keep up with bigger bikes like a 300 or 400 in the twisties. Now, you get awesome styling and decent comfort, and the aftermarket support for this bike is huge. However, it does have its flaws, and the production issues are really disappointing considering this is made by a big Japanese company. Anyway, that's all I have to say about the Yamaha MT15. These are simply my opinions based on what I have seen as a shop owner, so take everything with a grain of salt. But if you have something to say about this bike, something worth sharing to everyone, please leave a comment below. Now, like this video and consider subscribing to the channel if you enjoy what I do here. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.